And okay, I'm Anna Lloyd. I run a magazine called Black White News, which is a Luton-based magazine, and it's been running for about 10 years. Most of the times it's found on the internet. I only publish it maybe every 6 months. It's a philanthropic magazine, so you know, normally if you can download it, you don't have to, you can just read it from a website. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the Windrush today because it's Black History Month, of course. And I actually am born of the Windrush generation. My mother came here in 1952. And so, first of all, the Windrush was so called because of the ship that the people came on. And in 1948, between 1948 and 1973, those are the people who have been affected by the Windrush, and I'm sure you've heard about the Windrush scandal, which is where a lot of people are now being not so much targeted, but they got mixed up in this, in the illegal versus legal deportation. So what was happening is that those people who came before 1973 and were Commonwealth citizens, they didn't need any papers when they came. So they all came, and a lot of young people, like I was born here, but people who weren't born here, they came with their parents, on their parents' passports, and if their parents died, or their grandparents died, they didn't have anything to say how they came or when they came. And these are the people who have been illegally deported. I think at the last count, I think, you know, there's some kind of debate. Some people are saying they don't know how many people have been illegally deported, they don't know how many have been detained, but I think it's because the government is a bit worried about the backlash if everybody knows. But there's figures going around about 6,000 people who have been deported, and they are seeking to come back. I don't know what will happen because a lot of these people have been denied healthcare, their pensions have been stopped, their banks' accounts have been frozen, and they've lost their jobs, and a lot of them, because they've been taken out of the country, have also lost their homes. So they would have defaulted on their mortgage, and now they're saying, the government is saying is that they're going to compensate them, but what are they going to come back to? Most of these people in their 60s and 70s, and they've been booted out of the country that they thought was their own. So it's not a very pleasant situation to be in for those people. What else was I going to say? But I think if well, I was just wondering, you know, when we think about the Windrush, we kind of wonder why in 1971 you're protected as a Commonwealth resident, and you're called a British citizen. After 1973, none of the Commonwealth people who came to the country realised that they weren't British citizens anymore. I think it may have had something to do with the Caribbean independence, because I think Jamaica and Guyana went independent in 1962, and I think Trinidad and Barbados, or two other ones, went independent in 1966. So maybe the UK thought they didn't have an allegiance to the Caribbean anymore, so in 1973 they decided, well, they're not allowed to come over here unless they've got documentation. But the thing is that all these people that came after 1973, they didn't know that they were no longer British citizens, so they un-Britished them, so to speak. So anybody who came after 1973, if they didn't document all those years, and now what the government was asking, I mean, they changed it a little bit. They was asking that from the time they came into the country, for every year they were in the country, they needed documentary evidence. Now, I'm sure most of you are not going to have documentary evidence for more than 10 years, let alone 30 and 40 years. So the people who couldn't produce the documentary evidence, they were the ones that were targeted and asked to leave. Well, they weren't asked to leave. Some of them were approached and said, you know, because you don't have documentation, you're not allowed to stay here. You can either leave voluntary or you can go and So a lot of people, especially in the 60s and 70s generation, which are a bit more milder than the young people, they just decided to leave, not realising that they didn't have to leave. So now, I understand they will place their tent outside Kingston Airport until somebody claimed them. If nobody claimed them, I don't know what happened to these people. I'm only talking to you about Jamaicans because, you know, that's where my parents are from. So I don't know about deportations to other countries. I know that they exist, but I don't know anything about that. So I can't talk on that. I mean, the president, the Prime Minister of Jamaica came here a few months ago, and he was more concerned that all of these people are going to be reinstated and compensated. He didn't seem to be too concerned about the stress and the worry of the families and all those people who have been detained. We've got people who are unlawfully detained in detention centres near the airports. Goodness knows how long they've been there. Nobody's able to say when they're going to be reviewed. They're giving priority to those who have been unlawfully deported. So the Windrush, I mean, the Windrush generation was originally a beautiful thing. You know, they invited all of the people from the Caribbean in the 1940s, 1950s to come and rebuild the country. They came over as British citizens at that time, and they all did what they needed to do. I think what the government thought is that they'll bring them all over to rebuild the country and then they'll go back. I don't think they foresaw that they would come over here and stay and build up homes and educate themselves and do whatever they wanted to, you know, what they planned to do. I kind of wonder sometimes why someone like my mother and other people, they actually, even though they came over here legally and were British citizens, why they actually had the foresight to naturalise themselves and get British passports, and others didn't. Maybe it was complacency, I don't know. But it was those people who didn't get their paperwork done, who didn't naturalise themselves, who didn't get their passports, they're the ones who are in trouble. They're the ones who are having to go back and find out how they can prove that they've been in the country as long as they have. So you could argue, why can't they go to their GPs? Their GPs should have records of when they first went there, if they were going to go to the banks, if they went to the doctors. Everyone should have records. But the thing is that it's a Caribbean cultural thing. Number one, Caribbeans, I mean, the younger ones nowadays, we travel all over the place, we're more health conscious. But when I think about my mother and her generation, they didn't really visit their GP too often. They ate well and stuff like that. You know, most of them, they took out their teeth when they were in Jamaica because my mother says she took out her teeth when she was 26. Because she didn't want the pain of toothache. I'm not saying that everybody did that, but they used to be terrified of dentures. So a lot of them felt, you know, perfect teeth and dentures looked lovely. That's what my mother did. So she came over here without no teeth at 26. And what I'm trying to get at is that she didn't need to go to a dentist, so there would be no dentist records. If people didn't go to the GP, there'd be no GP records. You know, I guess they do bank records, but I don't know if there's a time limitation on bank records or whatever. But it's been very difficult for these people to prove that they were here. And then they had to prove it after 1973. But these people, that's what they've had to do to prove that they've been in the country. I'm also a poet, so I did a poem that I'm going to recite. And it's based on that era, and it's half patois and half English, so I hope you'll understand when I recite it to you.
Do you need an interpreter? For the patois?
No translations. And it's got, Lord, we can't tell it in England. Did you understand what I just said? Okay, it's Lord, I can't stand it in England. But it's not all written in patois, but hopefully you'll understand. Okay. Boarding the bus the other day, a burly black woman blocked my way. Wobbling into an already delegated seat, she planted her loads between two white ladies. She snarled and then snorted as if ready to bore into the two women sitting each side of her. Just as the bus started pulling off, out of her mouth emanated a laugh. She then started to wheeze, and on blowing her nose, she nervously bawled out the tales of her woes. Lord, me can't turn it in England. This country ever bring me down. Me want to go back to my country, but not even a penny me own. Me say me can't turn it in England. Is where una get this weather from. It kill off my husband and my one girl child, and leave me with no one to go reconcile. Them do autopsy for me one picnic and certify it as cop debt. But me no say nothing do go so, and the cold weather take our last breath. The same way it lick up my husband Claude. He would be alive now if he did back a yard. But we leave where Jamaica for come young. Things said that life would be better. But life no better. It was. And that is why me have to cuss. Them cut off me electricity this morning without so much as a warning. They make police come for arrest me because them say the rent don't pay. No wonder them say me I turn mad because the people them treat me too bad. The tremor in her voice caused the sandwich to fumble, and the sizzling filling continued her grumble. Why, me can't pan it in England. Me want to go back to me people them. The two women limped away from her side, obviously deciding to discontinue their ride. While they were waiting to dismount the bus, I overheard their conversation. What's she on about us? Yes, said the other ungrateful blacks. They come over here without clothes on their backs, using social security to live a life of luxury, and most of them fill up our council flats. The government don't care about the likes of you and me. Us whites are the proper beneficiaries. I know most of those wogs live off the dole, ain't interested in working or playing their role. They go on complaining, it gets on me nerves. Have you ever heard about this discrimination thing? I think it's absurd. No more bar black sheep or bollywogs on jam because these coloureds call it discrimination. Have you ever heard of such a load of... They make their beds, they want to lie in it, not come over here and complain about our weather. What's a bit of rain? You know what I think the government should do? Send those monkeys back to the zoo. I sat back and shook my head. They hadn't understood a word she had said. They had translated her disorientation as an attack on their country. And so they fought back with vicious words and an unrelenting heart, and that avenging scourge that permeates that part of our people, making them understand that their contribution to the country has meant nothing to man. So that was So have you got any questions?
You mentioned detention centres. Sorry, amazing poem, by the way. I the same thing, so I want to put it out there. You mentioned detention centres. I've not heard much about this so far. Do you know where they are? They're not in Jamaica, are they? Are they?
They're actually here.
Yeah.
They're near the airport.
Do we know
and
much
people
about
have been. Well, all I know is that I think at the last count there were 63 people in them, but there could be more. I mean, that's a conservative estimate because they're not going to say how many.
No.
But yeah, they're being held. Apparently a lady was in there for a year and they only released her, I think, 2 weeks. I think somebody went to the Home Office, and it appears that if you get the BBC or the TV involved, they act very quickly, but not everybody's going to have access and not everybody's going to be able to do that.
So was there no, like, a registration on people who were coming in, like when you, at the port of entry, is there no registration?
Yeah, there was boarding cards.
Yes.
There was boarding cards. Everybody had a boarding card, but conveniently, in 2009, they shredded them all. And now they're saying that they've got no recollection and they've got no record of who and when they came. I'm not quite sure why they would shred legal records, but that's what happened.
Up until 1971, as far as I understand it, it was actually free to get naturalisation.
You just didn't need it. It
After-
wasn't even
after-
about, before 1971 you were a British citizen. Because you were part of the British Commonwealth, so you didn't even need to pay for anything.
But they started charging for it after a period,
Yeah, I think it was after 1973.
73.
Yeah, they started. And I think something must have gone around to alert people, but maybe not everybody took it seriously.
It costs them thousands of pounds to get naturalised.
Now I know.
Thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, who is trying to sort this out in the government now? Is it
Well, they've now appointed Sajid to take over from Amber Rudd. So, I mean, it's a big thing. So it's going to take, I don't know how long it's going to take, because there's going to be a lot of people, especially those who've deported, who don't have access to our systems, who can't get in touch with lawyers, who won't have any money, whose money has been frozen. So I don't know how they're going to compensate these people, or how those people have been affected. But apparently the ones, since it's been brought to the attention, and the only reason it was brought to attention is because one gentleman, I forget his name now, but he was denied NHS care for cancer. And that is why the Jamaican Prime Minister found out about it. Before that, it was all kind of under wraps. They were deporting people and nobody knew. But this guy made a fuss because he had cancer, and they was telling him he had to pay about 10,000 for cancer treatment, and it brought it all in the open. But goodness knows how long. I heard it's been going on since 2002. So you can imagine.
Sorry, did you say the MP in charge of this, what was his name again?
Sajid.
Sajid, is this the new Conservative
Yeah.
MP? The one who openly said that people shouldn't be complaining about what happened? It was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is him.
And tried to compare his
Yeah.
own historical family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he's in charge of this now.
I know. So we're not in a very good hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, it's very, I can imagine the people who are going through the trauma, because I always think about my mum, and I think that, I mean, she's 94 now, but it could have well happened to her, where, you know, you've invested in the country, you've bought your home, you've reached a point where, you know, you're 65, you've paid off your mortgage, and you've got your pension coming in, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm set, you know, all I've got to do is relax. Some people might be doing a little extra work, and then they freeze your bank account, they stop your pension, they take you out of your home, and it's not like they say, okay, we're going to sell your home and send you the proceeds. They keep your home, and they send you to a place you haven't been for like 20, 30 years. It's really diabolical, and that's happened to goodness knows how many people. So, yeah.
I was just going to ask, what about the people that have got children and grandchildren that have been born in this country?
Well,
Surely that's the
apparently,
proof.
even those people, if your child is born of, if the mother is not born in England, they can leave the country, go to Jamaica and not be allowed back. Depending on the nationality of the mother, determines whether or not the child can stay in the country after a certain year. So, yeah, it doesn't matter if they've got kids. And a lot of people back in the day had kids in order to stay in the country. That's not working, depending on when they were born. So it doesn't matter if you've got kids here. It's a bit like America now, you know, there's lots of kids, the parents are being deported and the kids are left in the country. They can't get them back.
So do they have records of the people who owned property? Because that's one of my concerns. People that did own property and were deported. We're talking about compensating people for this. How are they going to be able to compensate these people for that?
Exactly. I don't see how they can, because it's not, because we have to think about the mindset of the people who've actually taken them out of the country. They're not fair people. They've just taken these people, handcuffed them, stuck them on a plane and sent them off. We don't know if they took records, we don't know if they took their names, you know what I mean? So we don't know what the process is. A lot of them, apparently there was supposed to be a charter plane set to send out some more people. The thing is, they've set unrealistic targets on to forcibly deport people. And it was 230 people a week. That was the target that they need to deport. And translates to nearly 12,000 a year. But the thing is that they didn't have no institutional memory. So the people, they must have just said to a group of people, okay, if there's no paperwork, you know, they're eligible to be deported. But they didn't have any knowledge about the Windrush situation, because a lot of the people who were following those instructions are young people. They don't know about what the British Commonwealth, they don't know that we were legal before 1971 and 1970. They don't know about our citizen. They just see a black person, okay, that black, that age group, okay, we're going to see whether or not they have paperwork. If they don't, sometimes it was just, you know, pot luck. So they had no proper system in which to do it.
Are they going to do an independent inquiry into how it happened and reasons for it and that kind of thing? To look
I
at
think they've already done that. That's why Amber Rudd lost her job. And I mean, Theresa May has apologised, but I think, you know, sometimes you wonder how is an apology going to put this right? How are these people going to be compensated? I mean, how do you give somebody back their home that they've lost?
50
Yeah,
years.
and how, you know, in a time when there's shortage of jobs, you know, you can imagine somebody 60, 70 coming back and, you know, had a job. I believe personally that they should be reinstated in the jobs that they have. They should force their employers to take them back if they were illegally or wrongfully deported, but who knows? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think those people who have been sent off are going to come back. But the ones that they do have records of, apparently they are going to get some money. I don't know how much. Apparently they've paid out already about 5 million. I don't know who to. But it's...
Do you think the Caribbean governments are doing enough about the situation?
No, I don't. I mean, I was quite perturbed about Andrew Hollis. He was quite blasé. I don't know if he was being politically correct, but he just said that, you know, provided that there's justice. I mean, I'm not quite sure if he could do anything else, but I would have thought he should have been a bit more proactive. I mean, his government must be able to tell who's just come there into the country. You know what I mean? And these people who are allegedly intense, they should be able to have their names and addresses and everything. So the Jamaican government in particular should be able to tell our government about the influx of people coming.
Yeah, that's the point I was just about to make. Because obviously they left Jamaica.
Exactly.
So they should have some kind of
Record.
exit.
Yeah, or entrance into the country.
So can they not provide that?
So I would have thought so, but it doesn't. That's what I'm not sure what is going on there. You know, there's so much. I don't want to say sinister stuff going on, but there's so much stuff that goes on. People will, you know, and it's like they don't want to pay out what they don't have to pay out. It's a bit like Grenfell Tower. You know, we know that there was more people in that building, but because a lot of them were there illegally, their family members didn't want to claim, or they didn't have the right to claim. So a lot of those numbers went under the carpet, and I think, you know, for people who may not have phones or depending on the age group, and don't have loved ones who care and are going to follow up, you know, they're really not in a good position.
Yeah, we had a tenant who was affected by this issue, and he had no benefits for about 6 months.
Yeah.
6 to 12 months, and yeah, it was very, very hard to. But even, you know, eventually we were able to sort of get him back into the benefit system, etc. But it was hard work.
Because they call this thing compliant environment. We call it hostile policy. They want to say it's a compliant environment, and they told the landlords, employers, it asks for these documents. If they can't show these documents, tell us their names and we'll go and get them. So, you know, there was no kind of instructions to say, okay, if they're in this criteria or that criteria. It was just a blanket instruction.
Well, yeah, interesting. With our tenant, he was able to show that he'd been in the UK from sort of like the early 50s.
Oh, he was lucky.
Yeah, because basically he'd either been in work or on benefit. Yeah, there was obviously an Inland Revenue record. But what they argued with him was that he could not show the original document that he came into the UK.
Well, that is not what they should do.
So he couldn't show his parents, and because he came with, you know, on his basis. So even though he could show, they then still turned around and said to him, well, you still have, you know, maybe, you know, you still haven't proved that you actually you entered legally into the country. So for that reason, yeah,
that's heavy stuff, isn't it?
So
how are you going to do that?
But it's a bit unfair that they're asking people to prove that they have been here, and yet they can't prove that they haven't because they've destroyed all the documents. It's a two-way street. So all the onus shouldn't be on that person to prove.
But that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say now they're going to put the onus on the authorities. But there again, in that particular situation, I'm not quite sure.
Well, what happened was that eventually we were able to get it sorted out, but there was this blockage where we were where it was actually meant for CAB. They were saying, well, look, you know, he's clearly shown that he's been here. He's been, you know, paying tax and national insurance, or he's been paying benefit. You know, here's all of his records. And eventually they were able to sort of like, you know, to persuade them that he was okay, but that. When that was initially shown, their initial reaction was, sorry, you know, you still haven't proved that you didn't enter the country illegally.
Wow. Yeah, and I think that is a situation they're guilty unless they can prove otherwise.
I think it's what you said, it's all about that hostile environment within immigration in general, not just about the Windrush generation, but to everywhere.
Now they're talking about, they're a bit worried about the people from the European Union. You know, because they opened up the doors in, I think, in the 1990s, and now they're saying, you know, should it be first come, first served, or whatever. So I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest. Because, I mean, they're talking about, they have to make sure about illegal immigrants, which I totally understand. And, you know, the Windrush generation got caught up in that. But then they're talking about traffickers. And, you know, statistics show that it's not really Caribbeans that are doing the trafficking, you know. So, but they targeted and told the people to go out for Caribbeans. You see what I mean? So it's a bit dodgy. Have you got any more questions?
Did your parents ever tell you why they decided to move here?
Well, it was the same like everybody else. They came here for jobs because it was after World War II, I think. And they'd all been invited, my parents and those people and the Windrush, they were actually invited here to build up the country. So my mother came over as a nurse, some people came over as doctors, some people came over as teachers, some people came as seamstress, you know, they had the construction, the farmers. So they all came over because they were invited to.
So was there high unemployment in Jamaica?
Well, I think at that time, England just sounded very attractive. You know, they had this vision that, you know, all the streets are paved with gold. And, you know, when you're not in a country, you don't really know. I mean, I can't imagine leaving somewhere like Jamaica where you've got food, sun, and the food is nice. You know what I mean? I can't imagine the shock when they left there, came here, and, you know, England is quite grey, isn't it? You know, and then it probably was the sun wasn't shining, or, you know, so I don't think they expected, but the Caribbeans have a very proud race. They're not going to admit defeat. What they're going to do is get on with it, knuckle down and make the best of the situation, rather than go back and say, I failed, even though I think a few did. So I think that's what happened there.
But it's the same principle. In answer to the question, why did they come? You said they were invited, but it wasn't as if they were going somewhere foreign to them. they all saw England as the mother country.
Yeah.
And it was like you living in England and going down to Cornwall